Well, thank you for coming on the red carpet round table, Ezekiel.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I want to dig into how did you get into the entertainment industry? Um, let's go from there.
Yeah. So I honestly wanted to be doing TV and film and movies and things of that nature since I was a kid. I remember being like 7 or 8, watching, all my favorite actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith, uh, Johnny Depp, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy
Oh,
was a
Eddie
big one.
Murphy. Yeah,
Yeah,
all those
when I was a kid.
actors.
Yeah. And so as a kid, for whatever reason, because they were all adults that I was watching on screen, I assumed, oh well, you have to be an adult to be an actor. But it wasn't until, I found shows like All That on Nickelodeon
Hmm.
and Kenan and Kel, and then, some of the Disney shows, I realized, wait, these are kids. If they can do it, then I can do it too, because it was a lot younger audience, or castmates. And so yeah, I the got bit by the acting bug back then, and I just made it my goal and my dream to one day actually go and be an actor. So that's
Hmm.
how that I got into it.
That's amazing. I want to dig into the Grove that you're working on.
hmm
Um, what can you tell the audience the Grove about it?
Yes, The Grove. So The Grove is a project that was produced by a good friend of mine, Corey White, and his wife Patricia. So Courier, he approached me with the project and was like, "Hey, I have this horror thriller project that I'm doing. I have a small part that I need filled. Would you mind doing it?" For me, Courier, he knows I don't really take small parts, but for him, we go way back to like 2016, when we were still, auditioning against each other and for the same project, which we eventually worked on the same project in 2019 in LA. But yeah, he approached me with this, and I told him, yeah, bro, I'm in. I'll do it. Like, by all means, like, just let me know when you need me. And so I flew to Atlanta. We shot in Atlanta. Um, and afterwards, he asked, if I'd be interested in coming on board as an executive producer, for the film. And then we eventually had a theatrical release
Hmm.
throughout the nation in the United States at different cinemas. And yeah, The Grove, it was a really cool project, man. Really good to work on, especially, being able to work with a Courier. It's always nice when you work with friends.
And that's amazing. And how long did it take for you to film this? And can you go into details of the storyline if you can? If not, the audience and myself would understand. But
Yeah, of course.
is it an action? Is it a horror? Or is it a comedy horror? Or is it comedy? Or is it like a thriller film?
Yeah, it's a thriller. So it's like a drama thriller horror. So it's essentially a ex military guy was basically put in this like secret kind of operative operation where they were injecting some selected participants with this formula or drug, but that formula turned him into like basically like a beast of a machine, like a machine killer on the battlefield. And so that's a kind of short synopsis of the story. But yeah, it's a thriller. It's a horror thriller, monster kind of thing.
And um, why did you take this role?
Yes, honestly, by sheer relationship with the Courier. If it was anyone else asking, I most likely would have said no. Because again, because Courier was the one who asked, and we go way back, that's my boy. I was
Hmm.
like, sure, man, of course, I'll do it. Why not? Why would not do it? Yeah, I just love to show love to my people, man. Anyone who's in my circle,
Hmm.
I'm especially
Very
it's for
true.
years, they can ask for anything, and I'll do it.
100%. What do you hope the audience will enjoy or learn from this film?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the audience can. It depends on which characters you follow, because every
Mhm.
character brings something different, right? You have the social media personality, you have the more reserved characters, you have the love interest character. Like it's like everyone brings something different, you know? So depending on which characters the audience may resonate with more, maybe like their kind of like backstory flow will they'll gravitate towards that, you know? Um, but one, I guess something that everyone can get is that never go to the cabins with a group of friends for a weekend trip. The cabin in the woods, you know, because it's you know stereotypical. It's like you go to a cabin, you know, having a good time, and then all hell breaks loose.
Oh yeah, that movie was amazing, but it kind of got to me because I was like, "Oh, cabin in the woods." But you're right. Yeah, that's scary how things turned turned pretty bad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, now I want to talk about you were on a couple of shows that the kids watch, like Shark. You played the shark, the bad guys movie, and then you were the shark jester. Um, and it's still going on. You know, you can look it up on YouTube and everything.
Right.
And what made you decide to play these roles? And also, you have kids who are, looking up to you and saying, "Wow, I didn't know there was this person or this person." But in reality, it's amazing because I actually, to be honest, it's kind of strange, not strange. I watch these shows. I actually
Mhm.
watched the Shark Jester, and I didn't know you were in them. I didn't know you were in them. So, and the reason I watch it because it kind of brings you into a childhood moment,
It
right?
does.
And it's kind of funny, not funny. I mean, it actually really is funny. So what made you decide to get into this kids fun cartoon theme?
Yeah, honestly, it's always been a dream of mine to work with an animation company, whether it's DreamWorks, Pixar, you know, Illumination, like just one of the companies. And so when I got the audition for the DreamWorks TV animation project for the bad guys, I was like, whoa, this is wow, this would be a dream come true if I actually get this, right? At that time, I had already auditioned for hundreds of other voice things with no response, like hundreds of other voice projects, no response back. So I was already kind of discouraged if I'm being completely honest. And so when I got the Bad Guys audition, you know, I was kind of going through the motions at that point. I was like, okay, another audition. I do it, you know, to the best of my abilities with the energy that I had at the time because I was slowly kind of like getting burnt out because of the discouragement. But then I think that same time I was on the set of Outer Banks, filming Outer Banks in Barbados at the time, and I got an email from my team saying, "Hey, they want to book you for a DreamWorks project," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, they want to book you. Like you're the guy. You're Shark." And then at that moment, like I just had like a like oh my gosh, like a freak out moment. Like I stopped everything I was doing, and I was like. I just like a dream come true, like literally a dream come true. And so being able to voice Shark, man, I had a blast working with the team on that. It was amazing. And even the fact that, you know, it's animation and I'm able to like, you know, reach the kids, you know. I love kids. I one day to want to have kids myself. But yeah, like because I feel like I never let the childlike individual in me
Hmm.
disappear. Like still, my friends can tell you, like I'm still a kid. Like when I'm like just in my element and just having fun and I'm relaxed and I'm comfortable around the people I am, like I'm still a kid. But of course with
Right.
responsibilities. But yeah, I'm still very childlike at heart, you know. So just doing the voiceover for Shark was Man, I couldn't have asked for more.
And you did amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You really did. Not do, I mean did. Sorry. Um, now you played young Jeff,
Yeah.
and also you played Fenton, which is on Fenton's on Netflix, and you played Jeff, young Jeff. Um, I'm talking about two subjects here, but why, not why, but what was so fun being on set on those two?
Yeah, so played young Jeff on Dynasty, and then Fenton on Outer Banks. So Dynasty was actually my very first network project ever. Um, yeah, that was back in like 20, I want to say it was like 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2018, like top of 2018 when I did that. Um, yeah, even that in and of itself was also a dream come true because I've always like wondered what will it be like when I'm actually on a production set, a studio, network set, and I have a trailer. It was just amazing. Like, I remember getting there and I'm looking up at the sound stage and like it's just this huge to me, especially being my first time, it's like this huge warehouse. And then I've seen the trailers and I'm seeing like the set bills over here. And I'm like, yo, this is so cool. However, when I was walking through it, being taken by the production assistant to my trailer and everything like that, I was just kind of just walking through like, oh, okay, this is cool. I'm just playing it as if, this is what I do. I've done this before, playing it cool. But inside, internally, I was freaking out. Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. So yeah, it was amazing filming with on Dynasty, playing young Jeff. I did all the flashback scenes for the original Jeff Colby, who's played by Sam Adegoke. He's one of the series regs on the show. And yeah, it was great, man, because Sam and I we knew each other prior. And so being able to, work on the same project as Sam and get to meet some of the other cast and working with Nicolette Sheridan and Grant Show and some of the other actors on there it was a blast.
That's absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Um, Now, do you have any upcoming projects? Any that you can talk about?
Upcoming projects. Huh. Can I say anything? Let's see.
If you're allowed. If not, I totally
Yeah.
understand.
So honestly, what I could say, yeah, I could say this. So I have two projects currently going in festival routes right now. I'm actually in Charlotte at one festival for one of my projects. And then next week I'll be in Miami Beach for the American Black Film Festival, ABFF. For two of my projects, one that I assisted in producing, as well as had a role in, and then the other I just had a role in. But so I'll have two projects in that one. And so, the only thing I can say is like they're both TV pilots.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, one is a sports drama that is sort of centered around, navigating navigating your life as like a high school student who thinks that sports ball is life, basketball is life, right? My character he goes on a journey and then he tears his ACL. Like, I had just like everything, like scholarships, uh, and offers and NIL deals, all this stuff like that. But then, I tear my ACL and then everything just goes down the drain. I lose my scholarships, lose everything, and my life just comes to a halt. And on the flip side, the other character, she is a basketball phenom and she kind of goes through the struggle of taking care of like family
Mm-hmm.
issues, like personal things like with the baby and her grandfather being sick, just things of that nature, like real life stuff. And so she drops something that she's really good at, which is basketball, um to handle the real life stuff that she
Mm-hmm.
feels is more
Mm-hmm.
important. So we kind of have like an intertwined and we mix and then we meet and have a dialogue about why I feel like ball is life, like basketball is important. And if you're really this good, why are you stopping? Right. But she doesn't tell me what's really going on. So that's like a little, I said more than a synopsis, but that's
Well, I totally understand.
yeah.
I can't wait, and the audience cannot wait for that film to
Yeah.
come out. Totally
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
What is your um 5-year goal?
5-year goal. It's a great question. In 5 years, I honestly want to be at a point where like people know my work. And so any project that anyone writes and they need a leading man of my complexion, I'm the first person that comes to mind.
That's amazing. And anything can happen. That's for sure. And what's your why?
My why. I've always known that acting is bigger than just me because let me put it this way. In me doing what it is that I love to do, which is, the arts and expressing myself through acting, and just portraying these characters on screen. I feel as if, you know, me living out my dream and doing the things that's within me to do, um, will inadvertently have a ripple effect and reach people that are meant to see me play certain characters that will then be touched and reach
Hmm.
through the characters I play or receive whatever messages that they receive through the characters that I play and that they see on screen. Just so like how when you watch something you can like relate to it, right? And then you're like, wow, they went through that, man. It's crazy because I was going through like something very similar, and they kind of like see how the character navigates that, and they go through and try to like figure it out in their own personal lives. Even though it's a film, but it could be someone's actual story. Because a lot of the times, art mimics life, and life mimics art. So it's like these even though a lot of these things are stories, some are based off of true stories and some are not, but even those that are not can actually be someone's true story. And so I think to answer your question in a nutshell, my why is honestly, because I know it's not just for me, it's
Hmm.
for the people, and for the world. Like I feel like hiding my gifts if I was to hide my gift and not be an artist, I'll be doing a disservice to the world because with me doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel like inadvertently other people will see that and that will motivate them to also do what they truly have inside to do, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a very powerful why, in my opinion. And we all ask, we all get asked what our why is, and I
Mhm.
think for me, I think about it. I take a deep breath and think about it's like, what's your why? Why are you doing this, right? And you try not to get emotional because sometimes you get into that deep thought moment.
Mhm.
And in that deep thought moment's like, it's because I want to do this, or it's because I want to change the community, or
Right.
this is what I was meant to do. This is my why. And a lot of people, wants to know the artist, what's their why,
Yeah.
and that's to me is powerful when you hear everybody's why, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mhm. No, I understand 100%. Of
Yeah, so thank you for sharing your why. I
course.
appreciate it. Um, the deep that question here is what is your well, correction, what's your pivot moment in your life?
Can you elaborate on that?
What was the most pivot moment in your life? What change, what life changes impacted you?
Okay, like pivotal moment.
Sorry, I should have asked that way.
Oh no, 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 you're good. You're good. I was like, at first I was confused, like, wait, what? Yeah, I would say, man, I had a few, but I'll tell you one. For me, I'm of Nigerian descent,
hmm
so being Nigerian, like I'm sure you can relate whether you have friends who are whose parents are immigrants, or if you're an immigrant or your parents are immigrants yourself, like, you only have three options as a career. It's either you're a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, right? And so I think a pivotal moment in my life, one of the very first pivotal moments in my life, because I went to school for electrical engineering,
hmm
uh, was telling my parents what I really wanted to do with my life, which was act. I want to act. I want to model. I'm an artist. I want to express myself through art, because this is just who I am, and having to build the courage to tell them that, knowing that they would not approve, or have something to say about it. Was a very pivotal moment for me. And it was one of the hardest things I had to do, in my life, was to tell them the truth. Because usually, if they were to ask me, how was school? And I'll just mosey around the question, oh, school's good, school's fine. But the truth was, I was miserable. Like, literally, like, internally, like, miserable. Like, I felt like I was dying from the inside out. It was that bad. And so telling them the truth of what I really wanted to do was a very pivotal moment. We had a huge argument back and forth, like them saying, "Oh, you will disgrace the family. You want to disgrace us, Ezekiel. You are not thinking straight. You need to go and focus on your books, right? And things saying things like that. You will not make it. You will not make it in life if this is what you want to do. You are a black man in America. You will not make it in life. Who is going to put you in their project? If there's millions of people trying to act, what makes you think you can do it? Saying all this stuff, and then in the end, I remember, I don't remember who, if it was my mother or my mom or my dad who said it. Because, like, sometimes even thinking back to it, I'm like, dang, this really happened to me. But they were like, in fact, we will not support you. We will not support you if this is what you want to do. And then it was at that moment I had to make a decision. Okay, is this actually something I want to do? And just do it, even though I won't have any support, or do I just, fold and listen to what they want and live a life that they want for me and not live my own life? And so that was a pivotal moment for me, and I made a decision, to go after what was true to me and what was true to my soul, my spirit, which was going into the arts. And fast forward almost 11 years later, here I am, a living testament to the courage of just, standing up to what I believe in and what I wanted to do with my life, going after my dreams. And now, years later, they support me now. And it's like, my mom's always bragging to her friends, oh, my son is on this show, my son is on that show, oh, he's coming out with a new movie, things of that nature. And my dad, every so often he'll chime in and say his 2 cents. But yeah, it was a journey overall. But yeah, that was my pivotal moment, was to tell them the truth and not hide behind fear and, you know things of that nature.
Wow. Um, whew, that is emotional.
Yeah.
Um, it got me in tears for a minute.
Sorry, man.
Because no, sorry. Um, wow. Um, it talks about sorry.
Okay.
It talks about a true um, testimony, um, that courage, and this is what you want to do, and this is what I want to do. You kept going, you kept fighting, and it just a testimony about don't stop your dreams. You want to keep going, and that right there, what you said is a true testimony. It's a true testimony of your story, um, going through from the difficult bottom of your life, going from here, right?
Yeah.
And your parents, shout out to your parents for praising you, and I, to me, that's a great testimony to any children, any age out there who is trying to get in the entertainment industry, who may be experiencing what went through. You just gave a testimony for the upcoming kids around the world who want to be in the entertainment industry. You have proven that you can do it if you go for it. You don't have to be getting a college degree to be an actor. You work hard and you go for it, and you make friends in the entertainment industry, and you never know where you're going to be. But you also showed that, also what I've heard in your testimony is that working hard in the entertainment industry pays off. It's not easy, but
Yeah.
you will get there, and you never, like yourself, you never thought you'd be getting a role in Shark Jester or Young Jeff or etc. Right?
Yeah.
And you can look up on YouTube and it's on TV, the Shark Jester, it's on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram trailers, and you never thought it's that you get that, right? And your testimony shows that, shows that. And it's powerful. And it moves me to hear your testimony. And to me, it gave me chills. My hair stood up because y I didn't know that, and I didn't expect to know that, right? But,
Mhm.
I'm from Japan, and I totally understand. I really do. We go through, and I think that's why it hit me as well, because I understand our journeys. This
Mhm.
is what we want to do. This is our passion. This is what we
Yeah.
we want to go for. We don't we hear other things and we're kind of like, no, 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 no. This is my dream. This is my goal. I'm going for it. And you open the doors and you just keep going. And I'm just I'm just so proud of you. I
Thank you.
I am. That what you said really moved me. It really moved me. Um, and it just, words cannot describe as much
Mhm.
how I feel, how happy I am. And I'm happy of all actors out there in the entertainment industry. So, but every, you just also proven, I would say this real quick, you also proven all the actors in the entertainment industry, you name him, Leonardo, Tom Cruise, everybody, they also have experienced not the same, but they also experienced something similar, maybe, right?
Mhm.
And that is a testimony we all want to hear. We all want
Mm.
to hear. So
Thank
I,
you.
I really, I, I really do appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, of course, man. I thank you for allowing me to share. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to my why, because me just realizing it's bigger than just me. So like even you, how you felt about the testimony is like, I want to be able to like allow people who also have dreams know that they can do it, with zero support. They can do it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for that. I didn't have
It's
anything.
true. It's
Yeah,
100% true. I I totally agree with you. And
yeah,
it just go for it. Keep fighting,
yeah.
And it's I, all I gotta say is wow. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
from the bottom of my heart.
of course.
Um, another another deep one is what's the best advice you heard or you received?
Best advice I've heard or received. Uh, wow, that's a good one.
Any
Best
thoughts?
that I've heard or received. Because I mean, being in this business, doing this for a while now, like, yeah, you hear a lot of things. Um, People tell you a lot of things. I would say the best advice would be the simplest advice. Uh, in ABFF like 2018, I was talking to Jacob Lattimore and I asked him, yo, how it was like a photo booth session kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone was there to like take pictures with him and him and Ryan Destiny. Like everyone was there to take pictures, but like in my mind, I was like, I don't care about the pictures. I want advice, like solid advice. So
Right,
like
right.
up acting as if I'm going to take a picture, which I did, but I was mainly there for a question and answer. So as soon as I got to the pose, I'm posing, but I'm like, hey Jake, so going from this project and I was naming all his projects to this, to this, to this, what would your advice be for a guy who's in the industry, but he's trying to break in to like actually be seen and like really get to the next level. And he was like, honestly, man, best thing I could tell you is just to keep going. He said, put God first and keep going. That's it. Never give up. Keep going because you never know like what project is gonna get you there.
Amen.
Yeah,
Anything is possible with God.
that's what he told me. And that was in 2018. Like what? How many years? 7 years ago?
Anything is can happen with God. 100%. That is so true. That's so true. Um, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh man, I'm still the kid me today. Like I said earlier, like I would say, man, be don't be scared. Yeah, don't be scared. Don't let fear hold you back ever. And
Hmm.
trust. Yeah, because I think in the past, especially before I told my parents, uh yeah, I was like, because I think there was a big part of me that just wanted to like be accepted by those who I feel, love me and for them to accept me as I am and what I care for and believe in. I think, I had a lot of fears around that and in the way the conversation went, um, I took it as the perspective of, I feel like they're just doing it out of love. They said that out of love because they just want their son to be successful,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But they see success through the lens of doctor, lawyer, engineer, maybe a pilot, because pilots make a lot of money. Like whatever is professionally acceptable by society, that's success in their eyes, right?
Hmm.
A lot of immigrants, that's what they believe. Um, and so I would tell my younger self, just don't be scared, be courageous, be bold, and trust yourself. Um, because everything that's in you is in you for a reason. And you were given those abilities and gifts, talents, that voice to do exactly what it is that you know you want to do.
Hmm. That's so true. That's amazing. And don't be afraid. Go for it. Chase your
Yeah.
dreams. That's for sure.
Mhm.
What's your advice you want to give all the young actors out there who are going into the entertainment industry who wants to follow your footsteps?
Yeah. Young actors, man, you're out here listening to this. I would say whatever it is you want to do in life, even if it's not acting, just anything you want to do in life, have a reason why you want to do it. And if your reason why is strong enough, it'll propel you to do literally that exact thing that you want. Go after it. Don't be scared. Do it. Little to no support, do it. If it's something you truly, truly desire,
Hmm.
period. Because there's
Amen.
only one you, right? There's only one you in this world. So do the thing that you want to do. You don't want to look back 10 years from now and be like, man, I should have did this, or man, I should like, no, do it. Go after it. Be bold, be courageous, don't be scared, don't be timid. You may be nervous. You may have some nerves, but that's normal. That just means you're human. Just go after it. The sky's the limit. Space is the limit. So even
Very
even if you
true.
don't land on another planet, you'll land amongst the stars. That's what I like to say.
Wow. Amazing.
Sky's right there. You can touch air. You can fly in a plane, you're in the sky. But how many
Yeah.
people can make it to space?
Go for it. That's your dream. Go for it.
Right.
That's true. Um, and the one thing about the entertainment industry that I love is Instagram, social media, is that we all connect. We all support each other because it's like a family. We
Yeah.
we we've run into so many people, and that's one thing I love about the entertainment industry, that we come together as a family and we support each other. So even if you're just now beginning, you're not alone because you have other actors in your community or in other states supporting you.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And I don't know if you agree, but I'm just saying that's one thing I noticed.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure, 100%. You'd be surprised how many people you connect with on social media who are in the same industry as you and like, they see some of the things you're doing like, whoa, that's really cool, man. I support that, right? And vice versa. I see a lot of people that I met along the way, along my journey, and I'm supporting them hard, heavy. If they have a premiere or a screening, I'm showing up. If I'm available, I'm showing up. I'm not always available, but if I am, I'm gonna come through and show love. You
Don't put
know,
yourself on the spot when you say I will be there and you're not there.
if I'm available. Yeah, I gotta write that in fine print if I'm available.
If you didn't say that and you just I'll be there, and then they're like, wait, where is he? Where is he? He said he'll be here.
Exactly, exactly.
That's good. You put in fine print. You said it twice. So now they'll be like, he said if he's available, he's
I'm
available.
available. I am pretty busy, man. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I
That
always
means
got.
if you put on your calendar, okay, I'll be there. That means you're
Yeah,
available. That means you have to.
exactly. Yeah, if it's on my calendar that I'm there, I will for sure be there.
Yeah, because if you're not there, everybody's like, where is he? Where is he?
It's funny.
Well,
Sometimes I like to surprise people too. Sometimes I won't even tell them if I'm coming or not. I'll just show up and then be like, What are you doing here?" I'll be
and
like,
what
"Hey,
they say.
I'm like, I'm here to support you, man." And like, man, you came for me. I'm like, yeah, like, why wouldn't I come? And
It's true.
we have a
That's
whole.
true. You just show up. That's amazing. Where can people find you on social media?
Honestly, yeah, just Ezekiel Ajeigbe. So on Instagram, I am Ezekiel underscore JB. TikTok, Ezekiel Ajeigbe. Facebook, if you're on Facebook, Ezekiel Ajeigbe. Uh, Threads, Ezekiel J. Like basically anything, just my name, Ezekiel
Okay.
J.
Okay. Well, it's been an honor having you on. And Definitely look forward to having you back on again and chat with you. And thank you for sharing your testimony. We're definitely going to stay in touch. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. So thank you again.
Thank you, Reichi. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you again, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Indeed.
All right, you have a good one.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.